What's up? Day number 130 of rating random magic cards. What's the first one going to be on a beautiful Sunday? How's your weekend going? Better now because it's an island. Look, that's a 5. All basic lands get a 5. They don't count, but I do love this island. Look how beautiful the island is. Simple, gorgeous. Let's move on to Psychic Strike from Gate Crash. 3 mana, 1 a blue and a black. For an instant, counter target spell. Its controller puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So cancel with upside. We see those from time to time. But the upside is just not that amazing, to be honest. Mill them a couple. Okay, so 4.1. You know, I usually give cancel a 4 when I see it. Give or take. I really think cancel's like a 3.5, you know. So with that, it cancels a 3.5. And I think some people actually disagree. I've seen some people in the comments want cancel to be a 5. Preposterous. Preposterous in the modern age of Magic. I think 10 years ago, cancel could have been a 5. The average Magic card has gotten so much better than cancel nowadays. I just don't think you can do it anymore. So it cancels a 3.5. Psychic Strike's a 3.6. Something like that. Plateau. We got a dual land, everybody. We hit ourselves a dual land here. This is a land. Comes into play untapped. And taps for either red or white with absolutely zero downsides whatsoever. What do you give dual lands? You know, like some of them are better than others, right? Like I feel like, you know, Underground Sea is, you know, Volcanic Island, Tropical Island. Like all of these are going to be just better than a card like Plateau. But I do kind of want to lump all of these in with one another. Just dual, old school duels. What do you give these? I'm going to ask the audience. I'm going to let you know right away. This is an ask the audience kind of moment. But I'm also going to rate these. I never chicken out. And I'm going to rate this and just all dual lands in general. A 9. 9.55. 9.55 for the dual lands, I think, is how we do that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? 9.55? I think some people in the chat are like 10, you know, but again, 10, you have to understand. 10's like Ancestral Recall, Black Lotus, the Moxen. You know, when we get to those, we'll give them a 10. Plateau, 9.55. Something like that. Old school duels are just the best lands like ever printed. They really are. I'll move on to Windstratter here. This is from Ixalan. It is pretty bad. It's 5 mana, 4 and a blue for a 3/3 flash flying Merfolk Wizard. That's all the card does. It's about as drafty as it gets, even with the flash 2. Something like that. So we'll move on to Master Decoy. I like Master Decoy. This is Tempest. Yeah, originally printed in Tempest. I think we've looked at this card before. I think we have, because I freaked out about the Filfolio art, which I always do. I like that he's got like a unicorn zebra that he's riding. I like his little mustache. I like the fact that this is one of the first tappers of all time. I've gone on and on about this card. Had to have been on this series. I like Master Decoy. I really do. I like it a lot. I'll move on to Sabertooth Nishoba from Invasion. 6 mana, 4 and Selesnya, a green and a white, for a 5/5 beast with trample. It also has protection from blue and from red. Okay. I don't know if it's worth 6 mana. It still gets Doom Bladed or whatever, but like pro red's fine. Yeah, pro red's fine. Got cool art. Whatever. I think I'll give Sabertooth a 4. Pro a color is just good. It just is good, but that's so much mana. It's so much mana, dude. But I'll move on to Aan Fleetwing from Magic 2012. This is 4 mana for a 2/2 bird soldier with flying and hexproof. So it does have hexproof. If you're going to build a Voltron, you know, like this is a decent option, but you don't want your Voltron to cost 4 mana, you know. I'm going to start building on turn 5. That's awful. So, you know, I think maybe in draft this was good. Throw an aura on it and just like win, but not in the big, not big people Magic for big people. This is like, I will give this like a 3.7 though. I really will. Yeah, hexproof on a flyer is okay. It just always is going to be fun. Mirror Golem from Preordained is up next. It was only ever printed in Preordained, by the way. Art by Franz Vohwinkel. I remember that name. This is 6 mana for a 3/4 artifact creature who is a golem. A golem. He's got a, I don't know why I said it like that. He's a golem. Imprint. Whenever Mirror Golem comes into play, you may remove target card in a graveyard from the game. Mirror Golem has protection from each of the imprinted cards types. So, remove a removal spell, like an instant, you know, from the game. And now the guy has pro instance, you know, but that's too much. It's still for 6 mana. 6 mana, that's 6 mana, 3/4 pro instance. Not good enough. Not good enough. Any day of the week. Any day. Although, I guess pro creatures, you know, that could be good. Pro creatures could be good, just can't be blocked. But it's still a 3, you know, it's 3 power guy that can't be blocked. Okay. It's not going to do all the damage for you want it to do. I don't know, it's a neat card. It is a neat card. It's cool that it's uncommon too, by the way. Seems like it'd be rare with this text box, especially back then. But Mirror Golem, I feel like I've heard your name a bunch, right? I feel like you do a thing, but I don't know. In a vacuum, you just don't seem great. I'm going to give you a 3.9. I'll give you a 3.9. You know, protection from all the card types seems like it does something super, like you can make it do something really weird, you know, by giving it pro enchantments or something, you know, something. There's got to be some weird interaction with this. But I'll move on to Reckless Barbarian from Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. Why can't I talk today? For Baldur's Gate. This is 2 mana. 1 and a red for a 2/2 Dragon Barbarian. You can sack it to add 2 mana. Red mana. That's awesome. Pretty good, man. Not even legal in Modern. Not even legal in Modern. Because it'd be good, right? A 2 mana guy you sack for 2 mana is good. It's actually all right. So I get to make 5 mana on turn 3 because I played this guy. Gross. Like if I play this on 2 and then my opponent targets with a removal spell, then like I can sack it for 2 red mana and cast something, you know, like on their turn or at the end of my turn, I can cast a removal spell with the mana this gives me because they pointed a removal spell at it. I don't know, I like this. I've never seen this card. I think it's pretty hot and tempting. It's a fat card. Pretty hot and tempting. We used to say stupid crap in the 90s. I'm old. This is I really like this card. It's like a 5.9. I don't know if it's that good in like casual Commander, but just like, this is good ramp. Like, this is good ramp. I'm sticking with it, dude. 5.9. Try to stop me from over there. It's going to be really hard. I'm probably rating this too high. But like, this is good. This is this is a good card. We'll move on to Sella Ice Shaper from Kaldheim. This is 3 mana, 1 a red and a green for a 2/4 legendary snow troll warrior. You can pay 3 and tap it to create a colorless snow artifact token named Icy Manolith that taps to add a mana of any color. You can also pay 8 mana, 6 a red and a green, and tap Svala to look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. What a busted activated ability that is. It really is. I mean, it costs 8 mana, so you better be able to cast wherever you want. So, but there are ways of bringing down that activated ability's mana cost. You can use Agatha or any number of other things that will help you do that. So, cool. Still, fun commander to build around. And I do think, like, in casual Commander, where you might actually be able to play something like this and, like, not have the worst experience of your life, like, it's probably really fun. But I do think that, like, it's one of those things you spend 3 whole nights building a deck around, and you order the cards and you wait 2 weeks for the cards to come, and they finally come and you're excited and you build your Sella deck. You play 1 game with it and you're like, okay, it's not even why did I sleeve that up? It's like, I'm going to sleeve this, play 1 game, put it in my box, and then like never look at it ever again. Like, it seems like that kind of commander, you know? So, but it is very unique. You don't see this, either of these abilities that often. But all that said, in terms of pure power, I'm going to give this a 4.45, right? A 4.45. Because it's not that good. But again, being a cool commander takes you a long way in this series. Thrus the Butcher, another Gruul commander here. This is 5 mana, 3 a green and a red for a 3/4 legendary dragon peasant with trample. Whenever Thrus the Butcher attacks, double the power of each dragon you control till end of turn. Now that 3 power is starting to make sense. This is only 18 cents. You can actually get a crappy looking copy from the Monster Manual over here for like 5 cents. That doesn't look very good. But this is cute. Right? You know, double the power of each dragon you control seems like a pretty cool attacks trigger in your Dragon's deck. My guy, I think it's good. It's cool. And it tramples too. I'm gonna give this like a 5 spot. It's too expensive. It's probably too expensive. But boy, in your Dragon's deck, you know what I'm saying? Let's go 4.9. Let's go 4.9. Like, you're right. Okay, it is a little bit narrow. It's a little bit too much mana for the PT that you're actually getting. Like, there's definitely problems with the card, but dude, when it pops off, it snaps all the way off, dude. Like this with a Twin Flame Tyrant, you know, like double all your Dragon's power and toughness, and now they deal double damage because Twin Flame. Like, I don't know, it could be good. Next is Preordained. Whew, Preordained, baby. We have looked at this before, have we not? Have we looked? We've looked at Preordained before. Very good. One of the best cantrips in the history of Magic. It's very, very good. Look at Warstorm Surge next. 6 mana, 5 and a red for an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. So it's Pandemonium. It's from Magic 2012 originally, by the way. It's Pandemonium, but you call it, you pay 50% more for the Pandemonium to not be symmetrical, which I think is probably worth it. I love more or less any card with this, not precise text box, but, you know, cards like this. Anything from Impact Tremors, right, to War Leader's Call. Those just ping the opponent. But Pandemonium, Terror of the Peaks, Warstorm Surge, these are all cards that I really, really like. 6 is an awful lot. It's so much mana, but I still think it's worth playing in a lot of your commander decks. You know, it's pretty easy to set up. So I'm going to give Surge like a point for every, you know, mana in its casting cost. I'm going to give this card a 6. And it's one of those things, again, where like, you can't stop me. Effects like this are very near and dear to me. And even if I have to pay 6 mana for them in Commander, I'll find a way, buddy. This is just such a righteous effect. It really is, dude. Even if you're making tokens and it's effectively an Impact Tremors, it's still good. It's actually still good. So I'll give it a 6, and I think that it actually deserves it. Cards like this are very good. But that is all for today, everybody. One more day this week, and I'll see you bright and early for it. Love you. Bye.